There we go. There we go. Ooh, ooh, weird. All right. Here we go. What's up? What's up, everybody? Let me just take care of this real quick. All right. So, what's up, everybody? Thanks for rocking out. Let me just look at something real quick. And we'll take care of that. All right. So, we're good right there. Let me do a couple of things. That's what I really want to do. All right. All right. Let me pop out the chat. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Let me get rid of this right here. Right here. All right, let me fix this up. Let me clean this up a little bit. And there we go. And we're about to go live. We're going live. We're going live. And all right. What's up, my friends, my family, my fellow gamers? Your boy Puertorock 77. And of course, your only friend in these YouTube streets coming at you live. It's been a minute. It's been a little bit. Mostly I've been uploading videos and I hope you've been enjoying it. I've been seeing the feedback, the conversations, the comment sections are live with the topics I'm bringing out. And hopefully I could continue to bring these great topics that you guys could rock out to and chat. You know what I'm saying? And also bring it over to Twitter and all that stuff. But I appreciate it, man. Thank you all for the support. Come rock out with me. Really enjoy it. Let me look at something real quick. You know what I'm saying? Hold up. Right now, you know what I'm saying? Let me do a couple of things. If you can, hit the like button. Tweet this out. Uh, and we get the word going, and then we'll kick it in. I'll hit up a couple of light topics. For now, let's talk about a light topic that I didn't talk about yet. Rumors about not rumors, but apparently Remedy got back their rights to Alan Wake. You saw there was a recent article that Microsoft pretty much gave them the rights back. Now the game was always owned by Remedy, but the publishing rights, meaning the publishing rights to the games was owned by Microsoft, meaning if a game was going to be released on platforms, it had to be Microsoft to publish it, right? Remedy didn't have the rights to that, but now they do. So now they can publish that game and any future games of the Alan Wake franchise to any platform. So a lot of people see this as a key indicator, right, of Alan Wake coming back. Because then if Remedy had no intention of doing anything with Alan Wake, then why would they bother with it? So it seems like they might end up doing something. I think the most logical choice is a remaster of the game, and then just put it multi-plat, a remastered of Alan Wake, and put it on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC, so you could get the fan base going again. Maybe add some extras like a remastered with all the DLC, maybe also a couple of changes to the gameplay, something like that, right? And get the interest going again, and then maybe an inevitable sequel potentially. How do I feel about that? I'm indifferent to that because I don't personally see Remedy as a good developer, so it doesn't really matter to me, to be honest. It is what it is. Um, I didn't really like Alan Wake for the most part. I didn't like Quantum Break. I thought it was average. It's all average. It's really indifferent. I don't think they're bad games. I don't think they suck. I just think at best they're average. Let's say at best, and it is what it is. So Alan Wake coming to PS5, I mean to PS4 or whatever. If it did come, I don't think I would play it. I'm Italian. I wouldn't be playing it or whatever. Now, Alan Wake 2, if that comes out, I would have to again look at it. What improvements that he addressed the issues that I have, whatever. And I'm not gonna get into the issues of what I have with Alan Wake because that's a conversation in of itself. Um, but it is what it is. So I don't think a big deal. Some rumors of gamers talking about that there's potential that Sony will acquire Remedy as one of their first party studios. Interesting rumor, interesting thought process. I look at myself like, again, I'm indifferent to that because I'm like, I don't see that as a big deal. I don't think they made a good game, a really good or great game since Max Payne 1 and 2. Again, I don't like Alan Wake. I don't really care. I'll say I don't really care for Quantum Break. And I don't care for the game that just coming out Control. So I don't really see anything magical from them. I honestly don't. So, if people were to ask me the studios Sony should go for, I think number one would be Insomniac above all else. I think that's a better option. Like if it was a choice, and I know sometimes it's not a choice. It's not like Sony has the choice because the studio has to agree to the purchase, right? Um, so my man Lionel said because we was taking a break from YouTube. When is your next Q&A stream? So what I want to do, Simply Deep, and I'm procrastinating on this, but I'm trying to do, and I talked about this before. I looked at a couple of YouTube tutorials, but what I'm trying to do is like a live call-in stuff, and it's not as easy as I thought it would be to set up. But that's what I want to do, like the Q&A stuff, but have like a phone number. So I'll do kind of the things you have like on a radio station. You know, I'll do it live, talk about some topics, and then receive calling in and stuff like that. People call in, we could talk about the topic, or I'll open up to like a open Q&A. People call in, say what they gotta say, and boom, I'll reply whatever, you know things like that. But it's really challenging to do that. I'm trying to look at tutorials and stuff like that, and see how it goes. But we'll see. I might do it now that you brought it up. If there's any high demand, then I might do a live Q&A with the chat. I'll post it up on YouTube and see, maybe, and post it up on Twitter, maybe set something up like that. Uh, but good question stuff. But back to I was saying about acquiring studios. Insomniac to me is number one. But again, it may not be Sony's choice because if Insomniac doesn't want to sell and be part of it, then obviously it's not going to happen. But why Insomniac? Number one, I think the studio, their main success has been games that they made specifically for PlayStation as compared to games that they made multiplats. They made Fuse, wasn't very successful. Sunset Overdrive, exclusive to Xbox. I think it's on PC or coming to PC, something like that. P-Rock, Insomniac left Sony. Now they're no, Insomniac never was part of Sony. Insomniac was never owned by Sony. They were never Sony. This is Lakers Remy says P-Rock. Insomniac left Sony. Now they're gonna just let them buy them. They never they were considered a second party, but they were never owned by Sony. They weren't an actual first party studio of Sony. But again, what I was saying is their multiplats haven't been that successful. The best success they had is with PlayStation, right? And now with the Spider-Man is the most successful game they ever made. Like Spider-Man PS4 is by far their best game ever that they ever made in terms of performance, right? And Sony helped arrange that because Sony went with the IP. Like Sony did the sales pitch. Sony's like, hey, give us the IP, and of course, I'm sure the movie character Spider-Man, Marvel being allowed to use Spider-Man as part of the cinematic universe, I'm sure that was a good, how would you phrase it? Conversation piece is a good ace up the sleeve. Man, I don't know what the best, it's just on the tip of my tongue, but it was a good tool for Sony to use to entice Marvel to be like, hey, give us that IP, take it away from Activision, give it to us, right? So obviously, I'm pretty sure there was some conversation about that, right? And then among that conversation, Sony probably went to Insomniac and be like, hey, we want you to be the developer. We're going to work this. Let's do it, whatever. So Sony helped arrange for themselves to get exclusive rights to make Spider-Man games. And they got Insomniac involved. Marvel liked the deal. I'm sure Marvel also liked the fact that they get to use Spider-Man part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They like, the pitch offering. I'm sure Sony pitched their marketing plan, their marketing schemes, all this stuff, a big whole, presentation of, hey, this is why Spider-Man should come to Sony. And then using Insomniac, they got Insomniac up in there, and I'm sure Marvel liked the whole deal, right? So with that said, Insomniac has their biggest game ever made with the assistance from Sony, right? So why not just be part of the first party? Okay. There's advantages to that, right? And disadvantages. Obviously, disadvantages, you're not your own boss anymore. Sony is your boss, right? But if you look at the first party studios, right, the big first party, Santa Monica, Naughty Dog, even Sucker Punch, they do what they want. They create. They have creative freedom. Sony just expects a couple of things. Number one, try to make new IPs and stuff like that. Number two, if you're gonna make a sequel or a game that's already been out there, go big, go hard. All right. Don't just create a game that's been out there and not trying to outdo other things. Right. And then there was another thing with indies, whatever. But those are the main points. So if Somniac wants to create, let's say Sunset Overdrive 2, Sony would probably be like, cool, but make it big. Don't just do what you did with the first one. Ball out, go call out crazy or create a new IP. So I don't see that negative affecting Insomniac because they would give them creative freedom and just go big, right? The advantage. All right, and let me talk about another disadvantage. The other disadvantage is Insomniac won't be working on other platforms. They'll only be working on Sony platforms. So PS Now, PlayStation, Vita, whatever. Okay, that's about it. So Insomniac will no longer be making Xbox games, PC games, whatever. But again, their most successful games were on PlayStation, right? So with that said, what are the advantages? Well, now since Insomniac games are mostly successful on PlayStation, then fine, just make PlayStation games, okay? But because they're PlayStation games, Insomniac is no longer responsible for the publishing, right? The marketing and all that stuff. Sony now handles that. So that's money saved from Insomniac developers and stuff and their whole pool of money. They no longer have to put up the cost. You see, when they make a multiplat, right? Okay. If the multiplat's on Xbox, PC, and PlayStation, unless Sony wants to do some type of marketing deal, they're on their own. They have to market that game. So now they have to go after another publisher, maybe EA or somebody else to foot up the bill, right? Like Sunset Overdrive. Notice Sunset Overdrive, they fell under Microsoft, right? So Microsoft foot the bill for that. And Sony says we want to make a Sunset Overdrive 2, but Microsoft's like, feels like, ooh, he's looking at his cell phone. Ted Price from Somniac sends him a text. He'd be like, "Hey, yo, Phil, what's up with this? Sunset Overdrive. Holla at me." And Phil replies, "New number. Who this?" And then Phil out. he ain't trying to hear about a Sunset Overdrive 2. So guess what? You're never gonna get that. But if Insomniac worked for Sony as part of the first party studios, they will be able to make the games, push it out, and Sony will market it, and Sony will pay for all that stuff. You see what I'm saying? To me, the biggest move Insomniac can make is get with Sony, right? But tell them you have to do one more thing for us. You have to go to Marvel and get one more IP for us to own. Get another IP, right? Right now, I'm advocating for X-Men because I think X-Men, outside of the Avengers and Spider-Man, I think X-Men is the next biggest IP. To be honest, I think X-Men could potentially be bigger than Avengers. Only reason why that might be, I'll be honest, it'll be a hard topic for me to debate only because the Avengers and the movies have been phenomenal and we haven't seen good X-Men movies, whatever. But I think gaming-wise, if Insomniac got that IP, and plus Avengers is owned by Square Enix, so they got that rights. But if Insomniac gets to get to the cohort of X-Men, that in itself is a huge universe with insane amount of characters, amazing bad guys, Juggernaut, Magneto, Mr. Sinister, Omega Red, just a slew of bad guy characters. I mean, you could create an amazing universe, and then you could do spin-offs on individual characters that would be huge in themselves. Obviously, the number one character we could all know who it is, Wolverine, huge, but it doesn't have to stop there. An individual Cyclops game or Phoenix, there's Iceman, or maybe a team up, there's just there's just a lot of characters in that game that Insomniac, between X-Men and Spider-Man, those two games will put them on the map. They'll consistently sell 10 million every single time. The developers would be crazy. All right. Sony owns the right to X-Men too? No, they do not own the rights to X-Men. Not in anything. So Black Eye says Sony owns the right to X-Men too. They don't need to own Insomniac. Pointless. They do not own the rights to X-Men. Sony does not own the rights to any other Marvel characters outside the Spider-Man universe. That's why they got Venom. That's why they got Spider-Man. So that universe is theirs. But they don't got X-Men. In fact, the only people that had the rights to X-Men were Fox, and Fox turned it over. As far as the games, I don't think anybody owns the rights to X-Men because I think Marvel was purposely there was a comic channel that I was seeing on YouTube, and there was rumors that Marvel was purposely tanking certain characters to depreciate the value of these characters, so that way they're not as what's the word? Well, valued, yeah, devaluated for Fox. You know, they didn't want to hype up these characters on the cartoon, animated, and game side. That way, the characters, the universe, whatever, are relevant to Fox. That's why you didn't see much about Fantastic Four. You didn't see much about X Men. You know, they were just slowly dying off, whatever. Okay. And then it probably made it easier for Marvel to be like, you know what, we're selling and all this stuff because we got all these Marvel stuff characters and it's not doing anything for us. So, but that's just rumor. I can't confirm on that. That was just something I was reading on a comic centric YouTube channel. But anyway, Sony doesn't own X Men. But if I was Sony, I would be fighting for X Men. Somebody should be fighting for X Men. Unless people are trying, there might be people trying, and Marvel's just not trying to give it up, which makes sense. But I would fight for X Men if I was Sony, big time. And I would get Insomniac and merge them two together. And now Insomniac got Spider Man and X Men off the chain, off the chain. And then on their offside projects, they could bring back Resistance, make a new IP. With the power of X-Men and Spider-Man, that shit will be crazy. I know there's other IPs a lot of people talking about. Some IPs like Punisher, to be honest, I would love to see Naughty Dog do Punisher. Because Naughty Dog has that grit, that visceral fight, that thing that catches you in your feels when, I think they could capture the essence of Frank Castle and he could wreck stuff. And I think in Naughty Dog's hands, Punisher would be dirty. It would be nasty. The game would just be straight disgusting. Oh, it would be crazy. I think under Naughty Dog's hands. And some Sucker Punch, not so much on the Marvel side, but I know this is not possible. But I would like to see them do a Flash game, but that's never gonna happen because the DC is completely owned by Warner Brother Games, so they would do that. But I think it would be cool to see Sucker Punch do a Flash game only because in Infamous Second Son, something light, whatever, forgot the name. But the chick that runs fast and you get the power to run fast, during that portion of the game, it reminded me, like, damn, this would be cool. This is kind of like a Flash game. It's the closest thing to a Flash game we're gonna have, whatever. First Light, that's the name of the DLC. So I would love to see their vision of the Flash. So I think that would be cool, you know. The Ruham, thank you for the super chat. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Pre-Rock? What's up, Ruham? How you been, brother? Hope you enjoy the content. Hope you enjoy next gen stuff. Man, dude's funny, man. There's a lot of funny stuff going on. And I hope you enjoy the topic, all right? So that's it. So just off the Alan Wake stuff, I'm indifferent. Guys, talk about how you feel about it. I'm indifferent. I'm just not whatever. I'm not big on Remedy. I'd rather see Alan Wake. I mean, I'd rather see Insomniac get ball. I also rather see Death Stranding. I'd rather see Kojima Production Studios fall under Sony. But that's not going to happen because he doesn't want to fall under anybody no more, which he deserves it. He was under Konami's umbrella for such a long time. Now he has 100% absolute freedom. He does what he wants. And, good for him. He deserved that, man. If there's anybody who deserves their own studio, it's Kojima, right? All right. Why, my man, Warlock God, P-Rock, why do they only release one Grand Theft Auto game over to console generations? Okay. So that's actually a new thing for Rockstar. That's not the Rockstar I grew up with, okay? Rockstar were making games for a long time. But what truly put Rockstar on the map was Grand Theft Auto 3. For those of us that remember on the PlayStation 2. That's what put them on the map. Grand Theft Auto 3, that open world design at 3D, because remember they had Grand Theft Auto 1 and 2 on the PlayStation 1, but it was top down, not as popular. But once they converted to 3D on the PlayStation 2, the way we play games now, over the shoulder, third person, put them on the map. The violence, the gunplay, it was all, if there's one game to define the PlayStation 2 generation, That that generation, the OG Xbox, GameCube, PlayStation 2, it was Grand Theft Auto 3. That game defined the generation, right? But during that gen as well, they made Grand Theft Auto 3, they made Grand Theft Auto Vice City, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, right? That's three games. They also made The Warriors. They made Bully. They made Manhunt, Midnight Club, right? Off the top of my head, that's what I could think of. So three Grand Theft Autos, The Warriors, Bully, Midnight Club, and Manhunt. That's like what, six, right? Three Grand Theft Autos, Bully, Warriors, Manhunt, Midnight Club. Seven games. That's off the top of my head, right? Off the top of my head. They made a lot of games. State of Emergency. Oh yeah, State of Emergency. So that's eight. That's eight games, right? I love the Warriors too. I would love a remake of that game. Woo! With the Grand Theft Auto 5, Red Dead Redemption 2 engine. Hopefully the controls will be better. But I would love a full-blown remake on the Warriors. Oh my god. I would buy that. I would so buy that again. Even on the 360 era, 360 PS3 era, they had Grand Theft Auto 4, Grand Theft Auto 5. LA, what's that detective game? I forgot what it's called, but that detective game that they made, where you have to recognize the face and see if the person's lying. The ping pong game, that was like a launch 360 game. Red Dead, Red Dead Revolver, so that's nine. So Red Dead Revolver was actually PS2, so that's nine. LA Noir, good man, my man, Black Eyes. LA Noir, but Red Dead Revolver was a PlayStation 2 game, so that's nine. Nine games they made. Nine games over a 5-year period, right? Red Dead Redemption was 360 PS3 era. Red Dead Redemption, Grand Theft Auto 5, Grand Theft Auto 4, two major DLCs for Grand Theft Auto 4, another Midnight Club game, that ping pong game. Everybody remembers that ping table tennis. Rockstar presents table tennis. Um, that's like six games, whatever. Okay. So Rockstar normally would make a lot of games. But what changed is when they made Grand Theft Auto 5 in the online, and how so many people was just all about that online life for Grand Theft Auto 5, and people just kept buying it and buying it, and it was powered by the online. And it was so big that Rockstar changed their strategy, and they put their whole team focusing on just content to keep the online alive, and it was working. People just kept playing it and playing it and playing it, more content, and they just kept with that model. And they didn't need to make another game. When they ported it over to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One at the start of gen, it just kept outselling brand new games. My man, 4K Gamer Sam Regaras, thank you so much for the support. Keep up good content. I like your ideas. I appreciate it. And I hope you like the main topic. So everybody stick around. All right. Hit the like button and retweet it throughout your favorite social media platforms. Let's get the conversation going, right? But just to go back and to answer his question, we got 125 people here. But to answer your question, Grand Theft Auto took on a life of its own, and it's just, you can't blame Rockstar. I know a lot of people be like, "Oh, Rockstar sucks. They don't make games no more." You can't blame them. The money spoke louder than anything else. The amount of money they made with Grand Theft Auto is beyond anything else they made before that combined. I think the game sold 100 million copies across all platforms: PS3, 360, PS4, Xbox One, PC. I know one time I read they're up to 90 million, so by now they're at 10 million. The game don't stop being top 20. A lot of times it's top 10. Even right now, I think it's still like one of the top 10 selling games of the year in 2019. And the game came out in 2013 or something. The game just doesn't stop selling. It just keeps going and going. To me, Grand Theft Auto is bigger than Fortnite on the strength that you have to buy Grand Theft Auto. And it's not like they're selling it for $10. The game is still like $40, $30, 5-6 years later. Fortnite is free. You don't pay it. You don't pay to play it. It's a free to play. Grand Theft Auto is a top seller in 2019, and the game came out in 2013. The game took a life of its own, so they don't need to release. They don't need to release new games at all. Not saying that I'm advocating for that, but because this game is so huge, they changed the model. They focusing on releasing content Grand Theft Auto 5, and then they'll release one game, whatever. The game they released recently, obviously in October, was Red Dead Redemption. So I think the only thing we're really gonna see from here on out is Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption, Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption, and they're gonna make more money doing that. Again, don't make it. I don't want you to think I'm excited about that, but primarily that's probably all they're gonna do for a long time. Maybe if they think a bully game might be. Yeah, look at this dude, my man Gilbert. Xbox is the best. Oh shit. Oh shit. Shout out to Gilbert. Um, but on the real, don't expect a lot of games from Rockstar. They don't need to make a lot of games, which sucks. Right? It sucks. All right. So let me get to the topic at hand. Okay. I'll do one more because people want to talk about it. So, an exploit was discovered on PlayStation where people can bypass the CVV, whatever, the little 3-digit code on your back of a credit card. Well, there's an exploit where people could purchase stuff without having to put that in. Shout out to Veja. Thank you so much for the super chat. What if Sony buys Insomniac and Halo games, merge them, and Halo games, merge them? Sony gets the license for Marvel to create a Guardians of the Galaxy game in No Man's Sky engine. I haven't played No Man's Sky since it first came out, and I thought it sucked, but I heard there was so much into that game. Is the engine good? Is it graphically good? Because when I played, it was like an indie. Did they do a lot of updates to it? I'm not sure. I know they did like a huge founders pack, and when it came to Xbox, there's a whole bunch. I know the game grew beyond what it is. Um, I don't know much about it, but um, I don't know. Be crazy. Maybe Guardian would a Guardian of the Galaxy game be a big hit though with the characters? I know the movie's just cool and I like the humor, but would the Guardian of the Galaxies be a hit game? I don't know. Depending how they could do it. But that's a good point. Like if they did a whole open universe with Guardians of the Galaxies, maybe, potentially. Rohan Star 58. Is he bot a fraud and Xbox fanboy? Oh man. I'm gonna leave that topic alone. But you could clearly just check out his Twitter timeline. My man says some of the craziest stuff, but that's beyond P. I'm gonna declare that topic beyond Puertorock. That is beyond P. I can't help you with that, right? I don't know what to tell you. That's insane right there. All right. Woo! But anyway, so an exploit where you could bypass the CVV code, whatever, which now people could charge if they have access. But number one, here's the thing: some of the stuff. I have my credit card on my PlayStation, but I got two-factor authentication, right? If you don't have that on your PlayStation, you're wrong. You need to get two-factor authentication. So if any point someone logs on to my PlayStation thing, I get an authentication code, right? That's the only ways. And that's how I know whatever. But it hasn't happened to me. All right. That's number one. Number two, make sure you have a good password and stuff like that, right? Obviously, maybe most of you already know, but the key to a password, and this is what makes a password a good password, is obviously the combination of letters, special characters, and numbers. But it has to be something that's not associated with your life, where people can figure out through social engineering and stuff like that. You need to pick something that even you yourself would find it hard to remember. You understand? Remember that. Um, Stuff like that. And then here's another advice. And the reason why I'm telling you this stuff, because I learned this from the military. They teach us all this stuff about hacking, social engineering, but they teach us in a sense of, anyway, if you can, don't associate your online accounts with everything. You know what I'm saying? Like me, like my YouTube and Twitter email has nothing to do with my Facebook. Like if somebody hacks my Google, right? If somebody hack Google, right? The only thing they'll have access is to my YouTube and potentially my Twitter. That's it. Because that email has nothing to do with my other social media accounts like Instagram, Facebook. It has nothing to do with any of my payments accounts, things I have online, credit cards, bank statements, bank accounts, none of that. In fact, my bank accounts and bank stuff, they have their own email. So again, let's see if you hack my Facebook. Well, guess what? You hack Facebook. My Facebook and Instagram has the same email. If that gets hacked, that's the only thing I have access to. You don't have access to my banks. You don't have access to my Amazon. You don't have access to my Netflix because they're all not tied to one universal thing. I have multiple emails for certain things, and that's the level. So that's your own personal level of security. Just remember that, guys. Right? If you have one email linked to everything, you need to. As much as I love you guys, just leave the stream, fix your thing quick. Create a couple of emails and start, segregating, compartmentalizing your different things. That way, if one thing gets compromised, you're not asked out all across all services and stuff like that. Yes, it's a little annoying because you don't have things linked. I understand that, but it goes a long way. It's pretty. If let's say somebody, some dipshit hacks my Twitter, and that happens all the time because sometimes I see notifications saying, please verify this, and I'm like, oh, here's another dipshit trying to hack whatever, right? Well, guess what? It doesn't matter because if you do find a way into my Twitter, that's the only thing I'm worried about. I'm only worried about that and YouTube. I'm not worried about my bank statements and all that stuff. But two-factor authentication is very helpful. At a minimum, do that. P-Rock, you play Judgment End? No, I'm finishing up Days Gone. In fact, I beat it. So yes, I finally beat it. That long ass game. Now I'm trying to do the hordes because that shit is fun facing the hordes. So I'm finishing up the hordes. I might end up platting the game because it's not a very hard plat. All I gotta do three things: finish the hordes. There's one more ambush mission I gotta do. Right. So I finish the hordes, I'll get the trophy. Finish the ambush mission, I get the trophy. I find nice fun. The two things left after that I'm not gonna find fun, and it's really testing my patience, is the stupid ass do 10 minutes of drifting. So stupid. And 5 seconds with the nitrous and drift at the same time. That's not so hard because I saw the video on that. But 10 minutes of fucking drifting, like you just have to stand there and drift for like 10 minutes. Like, really? And you guys know I don't like racing games or I don't like driving games. So by when it's all said and done, two trophies would be in my way from having a platinum. And I'm not a platinum chaser. Everybody knows that. In fact, that would be platinum number 10. I don't really platinum games. And the reason why I don't platinum like games because a lot of games have shit like that. Dumb shit that I hate to do. And I'm like, this is not fun. And this is not. But for some reason, I think, I don't know. We'll see how about that. What score would I give Days Gone? I'll leave that for another video. Yeah. And in fact, I'll do a full review because I know some people waiting for that, right? So anyway, so there's an exploit, CVV. Hopefully Sony addressed it. My biggest thing is this, and this is what I don't understand about Sony. Sony and PlayStation Network. Sony has a separate website that you can buy stuff from Sony. Headphones, stereo products, Blu-ray players. They have a separate store with Sony, right? That store doesn't go through those issues. It doesn't go through credit card issues and security issues. Yet PlayStation Store does. And that's the thing I don't get. You understand what I'm saying? I would get if the whole PlayStation structure and everything the security was crap, but it's always the PlayStation Store, but it's not Sony.net and their store on there. It's just that when they have everything Sony related outside of PlayStation Store, that's fine. You don't hear of hacking and all that stuff. The only thing I could think of is they both have the same level of security, but because of this console war and how popular PlayStation is, all the hackers are going at PlayStation because that's the largest revenue within Sony, the corporation Sony, is PlayStation. Maybe it's that. Maybe what the hell is this? Your device will restart outside back. Okay, here we go. Ooh, for a minute I saw a little window that says your computer's about to restart. I was like, oh shit. Ooh. All right, false alarm, right? So I don't know. I don't understand Sony. But I think maybe because more people are trying to hack PlayStation than the Sony website. I don't know. Some people say, well, security is going to get better now that Sony's with Azure. That's not going to happen because Azure, the deal that Sony contracted Microsoft to use their Azure servers, that has to deal with PS Now and cloud streaming. The actual PSN and the servers and PlayStation Store, that's on Amazon servers. Sony also contracts Amazon for that. I don't think a lot of people or know that. Sony's been on Amazon cloud service for a while, and that's where their stuff goes through. But again, you can't blame Amazon on that because Sony controls the software side of their whole infrastructure. The servers is just a space. Sony's the one that's using it and doing what they want. But my main thing is, why is there such a big gap between the Sony store and stuff, and they sell stuff on there, and the PlayStation store, which is somehow there's always something, you know? Sony needs to really take, and this is the thing, and everybody's seen me talk about this. I'd rather have Sony put the money and effort towards PSN than put any money into PS Now and Gaikai. The bread and butter, right? The thing that's making huge money for you is PS Now, and that's not the thing you're putting the most money into. Maybe they are. I just think I'd rather have seen more huge improvements on the PSN network on PSN than this venture on PS Now. That's just me, right? But what do I know, right? I'm just a Puerto Rican dude chilling in Germany, talking shit, pissing people off. I'm just a dude, right? Anyway, let's get to the main topic. All right. So now we got 128 people watching. Hit the like button. All right. Tweet this out. Let me do one more tweet. Let me get this out. There you go. Let me just tweet this out real quick. All right. So here we go. So we're gonna knock this out. We're gonna get to it. Okay. So this is what we're doing, right? So the topic, right? How PlayStation versus Xbox. My man, United Gaming, what's up? Thanks for a shout out. Shout out to the chat again. Thank you so much for rocking out. Let's see. Let's go. Okay, so the topic, right? Y'all ready? Okay, let's do this. Now listen up. How PlayStation versus Xbox versus PC got gamers in limbo. We're in a limbo now, right? Why is that? Why am I in a limbo? Console war, Platinum Wars has been around since consoles were sold. It's part of the gaming culture. It is what it is, right? For the most part, it's harmless, trash talking, poking, jabs, it's just shit talking. It's like sports. Yankees talk shit about Red Sox. You understand? Jets fans talk shit about Patriots fans. It's just trash talking across sports, right? Lakers fans talk shit about the Clippers. It's just trash talking. No one's actually, at least no one should be getting shot over this, right? This game has better power, weak graphics, goes on, right? I participate. I like to talk shit. It is what it is. It's just bullshit, right? It's just a little trash talking, right? But there's a constant time where you have to step out of character, step out of the trash talking, and when it's time to have a serious conversation, use the factual information, apply it, and come to the conclusion, right? We're not seeing that. We that is going away little by little. There's still some people that believes in facts. You guys believe in facts. That's why you show up to my live streams. You listen to videos. We rock out on Twitter because I try to bring the facts. I'm the only friend in these YouTube streets, right? When it's time to step out of character, it's time to preach truth. It is what it is, right? Why am I saying this? The reason why I'm saying there's a couple of things. There's a couple of things that I've seen annoyed me, and some things in the conversation that just doesn't jive with me. For those of you on Twitter, you are seeing more and more people, specifically Xbox fans of the Xbox, they are going out, and now, regardless of how long it took them to realize it, they're not happy with the direction Microsoft is going. And they are now officially saying they might consider just staying on PC or getting a PC. The Xbox console is not the way for them no more. The Xbox console is not what they signed on. Many of them told them that they've been with Xbox day one. They had the OG Xbox. They had the 360. Many of them says they started with 360, right? And they bought the Xbox One day one. But now the console is no longer the console they were used to and got used to getting. So because of that, they might hop onto PC, whatever, right? They logically explain their reason. It's mostly dealing with the games and stuff like that. The lack of exclusives, the lack of focused attention to the device and stuff like that, right? And many gamers, well, primarily Xbox, they're not stepping out of character. They are staying in character, right? And not understanding the logic behind this, right? Too many gamers are using the term, "Oh, I don't like PC because I'm a console gamer." You understand what I'm saying? Or I'll never leave this console because I'm a console gamer and stuff like that, right? And then another phrase I don't like is support the games. I'm gonna tell you why I don't like those two stages. First, I'll start with the support the games. I'll start with that term. I hate that term. I hate the term support the games. Gamers didn't support this game. Gamers didn't support this game. I'll be honest, I absolutely hate that term. I think it's the biggest bullshit term, one of the bullshit terms. I mean, obviously we have, you know, one and done and jab trash, but I'm talking about outside the toxic talking, just a term that a lot of gamers use across all platforms is support the games. I don't like that term at all. The term doesn't even make sense to me. Reason why is this: when Endgame came out, right? Or Spider Man, the recent Spider Man came out, Far From Home, right? And we all, for those of us that did, we went out to the movie theater to see it, right? I told my wife, "Hey, babe, let's go see, Spider Man." Right? Cool. We'll have date night. You guys did the same thing with your significant others, friends, whatever. You all went, "Hey, let's go watch Spider Man." Right? How many of you said to your friends, to your date, significant other, whoever you went with, how many of you says, "Hey, let's go watch Spider Man Far From Home and support the movie"? Who said that? Seriously, in the chat, who in the chat ever said that? Pick any movie, Endgame, Infinity Wars. How many of you actually said, "Hey, let's check out Infinity War and support the movie"? Who said that? Did any of you ever say that? Did any of you ever tell a person, "Yo, you want to go and see Infinity War so we can support the movie? We need to support the movie. Support this movie." Did you actually ever say that? Who goes to McDonald's and be like, "Yo, I'm hungry. Man, let's go to McDonald's so we can support the Big Mac"? Who says that? Has any of you ever said, "Let's go support McDonald's"? Think of your favorite restaurant. Like me, I love mom and pop. Like in Brooklyn, there's this Big Ziti in Greenpoint, and I love Big Ziti. And there's this mom and pop Italian restaurant in my neighborhood where, back in New York, whatever. And I love it. Every time I go back to New York, I gotta get me a Big Ziti. I don't go, "Oh shit, we're back in New York, man. I gotta support that mom and pop restaurant. So I'm gonna get me this Big Ziti. I gotta show my support." Who does that? How many of you bought cars? You bought a car? Did you ever go, "Man, you see that Mustang? Word up, man. We need to get that Mustang and support Ford. Got to support them. Got to support that Mustang." How do you expect for them to create new Mustangs if you don't support this one? No one does that. You know why? Because it's a consumer product. No one says support Endgame, support support DC movies. Yeah. No one says that. No one says support McDonald's. Who goes to Starbucks and support coffee? No one says that. No one says support Nissan, support Ford, support Pizza Hut, support Foot Locker. "Hey, yo, I'm gonna stand outside 4 hours for these Jordans because we gotta support Jordan." No one says those things because those are consumer products, and you buy those things because you expect those things to do for you. And if they don't do for you or they don't appeal to you, you don't buy it. So where have we developed this thing with games to be supported? Where did that come from? Because just like anything else, just like Endgame, just like Infinity War, it's an entertainment product. And the product is designed to do one thing. It's supposed to appeal to you and it's supposed to entertain you. If it doesn't appeal to you and it doesn't entertain you, then guess what you're not gonna do? You're not gonna buy it. It's just like going to a restaurant. If you look at the food and be like, McDonald's, hell no, the food's trash. You're not gonna eat there. You know, if you don't like Ford cars because you think the quality sucks, you're not gonna buy a car from Ford. If you don't like Pizza Hut because you like real pizza, you're not gonna buy Pizza Hut. That's just the reality. There's no supporting a product. Is the product doing what you want to do? That's what you're buying. I see this product. Does it do whatever? This is what is advertising is supposed to do. Yeah, I don't like none of that, so I'm not buying it. That's all it is. Lalilulelo, the Patriots. Oh, snap. NVIDIA fanboys are still in denial that Xbox Scarlet and PS5 will have ray tracing capable 4K 60 FPS with 4K blue drives. I will say this, my man with the MGS4 reference is hilarious. Shout out to you with the MGS. I'm an MGS fanboy. Don't even worry about the whole denial. The Xbox let the console speak for themselves next year when the company releases it. Just let it. Because what you're gonna do, you're gonna be arguing to a wall. And in reality, none of us have factual information on what the consoles could do. So just let it linger. And when Sony and Microsoft announces the consoles and announce their official specs, then that's what you gotta do. Be like, here we go. It's been announced. The reveal's here. This is what the consoles can do. But because I went through this with the whole Xbox Scorpio, I'm not doing that again. I'm not going to spend a year talking about imaginative rumored specs. I'm going to just let it fly. When it comes time to talk about official specs is when we could do it. Back to the topic. So, support. None of us support anything. You're not supposed to support a consumer product. The consumer product is supposed to do what is advertised, and you read what is advertised. And if you like what is advertised, you buy it and you pay for it. If it's not advertising what you like, then don't buy it. Just like anything else. It is what it is. Like DC movies. Unless it's Batman, I'm really not going to go watch a DC movie in a theater. Most of them have sucked. There's a few gems, like Wonder Woman, Aquaman. I could fuck with those. But for most part, like Shazam, I heard it was good, but I'm like, yeah, I'm not watching Shazam. Fuck that. I don't like it. No one's going to tell me, oh, shit, you didn't support DC? This is not my child, right? It doesn't have my DNA. They didn't come from my scrotum sack. Not my baby, right? That's just how it is. The no bat. Puertorock, why does PS4 outsell Xbox in Japan? Really? Really? Yeah. I'm being trolled. That's a troll question. You're not going to catch me with that setup, dog. But anyway, you see what I'm saying? So because of this mentality, this leads to my next point. Again, there are gamers who are now looking at and not happy with Xbox. And they're going on Twitter saying that they're most likely not going to get an Xbox next generation. They're going to go PC. Or they're going to get a PlayStation 5 first and wait till Xbox later in the gen. But the thought of paying $500 for Xbox, sometimes like, I'll just stick with PC or upgrade the PC I have, right? And a lot of other Xbox gamers have issues. They always reply to these tweets like, oh, they're angry. I don't like PC. PC sucks. I'm a console gamer. It's stupid. And they come up with all these things, right? Here's the thing with that, okay? Number one, again, like as I said, I don't like the term console gamer because what does that word mean in terms of the product you purchase? So you're telling me you already decided you're a console gamer and your future decision will always be console by default. You're never going to go for something better if it could potentially be a better platform. You just stay on console, boom, done, decided. Not moving on. I don't believe in that, because to me as a consumer, there's always a breaking point. There's always got to be a point where you look at the product and you be like, wait a minute, I'm going to pay $500 for what? Me as a consumer, this is not what I'm doing. It's not simply, oh, you're a console? Yeah, I'm going to buy you because, on the merit of your console. So, yeah, I'm going to buy you. No, unless you're going to go and admit that you're willing to take it up the butt from any company, I don't believe or at least they shouldn't be a person that's already predisposed to an automatic buy on a product simply on the merit that it's a console. That doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like with PlayStation, if Sony starts making PlayStations that doesn't fit what I want for the money I'm going to pay for, then I'm going to go PC. Doesn't matter. People could come up and say, well, PC is a little bit more difficult. All right, fine. So I'll deal with the difficulty. But ultimately, as long as I get what I want, I am willing to do what I need to do to get what I want, and I'll pay for what I want. That's ultimately the end point. Are you getting what you want from that product? Or are you simply just bending over and letting the companies be like, yep, we're taking this away. All the things that you liked, we're taking it all away. Well, you're still a console, so I'm going to buy you. That doesn't really make sense, right? None of logic I've seen to counter the people questioning Xbox stuff. Well, I'm never leaving Xbox because I have 400 games, so I'm staying Xbox. That logic doesn't make sense either. Doesn't make sense either. Because the 400 games, whatever amount of games that you bought, you have access to them with the current Xbox that you own. Not buying the next Xbox doesn't mean you lose access to the game library that you have. So the people that said, hey, I'm not buying an Xbox Scarlet, oh man, you bought so many games, what you gonna do? They answer back, be like, I still own the X. I'm just gonna stay with the X. And if I ever want to play these games, I'll play it on the X. It's the future of Xbox that people are like, they're not doing it. Because the concern is, what is the future of games and stuff like that the next console is going to bring? It's the same thing with the PlayStation 5. I'm not buying a PlayStation 5 because of the PlayStation 4 games that I own. The PlayStation 4 games that I own, I can play them on PlayStation 4. I'll always have access to those games. And I could keep buying PlayStation 4 games even after the PlayStation 5 releases. Getting the PlayStation 5 because of the potential games that console is going to bring. It has to make a name for itself. So games like potentials like Horizon Zero Dawn 2, Spider-Man 2, things like that. And any new IPs that the PlayStation 5 brings. That's why I'm getting a PlayStation 5. Not because of what I already done on the 4. What's already been done on the 4 gives me confidence that the PlayStation 5 is going to be a great system. But it still has to follow through on those assumptions, If, let's say Sony sent out a messed up message, screwed up message, and it's not like what I wanted or what I like, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not getting a PlayStation 5. I'm going to go look into PC, and that'll be my next generation platform. I did not lose access to everything that I bought and played and have yet to play on my PlayStation 4. It will still be there. It will still be playable, and I will still enjoy it. The concern is the PlayStation 5. And in many cases, for many people, or I say many people, some people, it's the Xbox Scarlet. And now more and more people are woke. They're woke right now. It's just a reality. Even my man, I feel bad for my man Kid Smooth. Shout out to Kid Smooth is out there. I feel real bad. My man's like, yo, I'm gonna stay out of social media. He's hurting. Because after a while, they're starting to see what's going on. I think this E3 did not be the E3 they needed or they wanted. The Microsoft E3, it hurt them. They're finally realizing what Microsoft is doing, right? And it's hurting them. A lot of people are saying Microsoft putting their games on other platforms shouldn't bother you. That's fanboy stuff, right? I love it when people say that because then that's when I pull the, all right, let's test this theory. And I put out a tweet. Oh man, Gear 6 on PlayStation 5, that's a real possibility. Oh, that's not going to happen. Whoa, didn't you just say putting games on other platforms not a big deal? What happened? Oh, caught you, right? So you could catch the bullshitter. If you ever see people telling you, if you're on Twitter, you guys in the chat, if people on Twitter telling, man, why are you so mad about, games going on a platform? That's fanboy stuff. Reply back, we'll be like, yeah, so how soon, these games are going to come on PlayStation because I really want to play on PlayStation and see how they respond. Boy, they change their tune real quick. Oh, it's not coming on PlayStation. It's just Windows and Microsoft, whatever environment. They change their tune real quick the moment you say Xbox game or Microsoft games on PlayStation, Nintendo. Then it's a problem, Pretty funny when you pull that punk card, The reality is this. And I said this on Twitter, and that became a thing. For next generation, I will not be getting an Xbox. That the console I will not be getting it. Okay, all right. And it's because of the messaging Microsoft is sending. Microsoft sent the message, and based on the message they sent, based on the information on their plans for gaming, Vedger, thank you so much for the super chat. I still force myself to McDonald's to eat quarter pounders, which is like taking a bite into a friend's shoe sole with old chewing gum stuck to it. Everything to support McDonald's. Great show. Now, oh man, I think I created a monster now. Now everybody's gonna be, oh man, I already see Twitter talking about support McDonald's or support. Oh snap! I don't know. I mean, I was just making a point that any other product, we don't say support it. We just say we go and buy it because that's what we want. Now everybody now watch. I can see when the movie comes out. Oh man, new Marvel movie came out. Hey, make sure you go out there and support it. And everybody's gonna be like, "Damn, what the hell's going on?" And I'm gonna get the inside joke. But anyway, I mentioned on Twitter my decision for my secondary platform next gen is gonna be PC, and it's not even gonna be a powerful PC. Because I know PC is intricate. It could get very expensive. Some people jump into PC, they put big money. Let's say, like, and I noticed this from some Ryzen guys or like AMD guys, they put big money in AMD and they hated it. So then they sell it and then they make a NVIDIA based PC and they love it. I noticed a lot of guys love NVIDIA over AMD, whatever. Whatever the case, I'm not going to jump in all hard and spend big money. I'm going to dive in, get a decent rig, something that could get me 1080p, 1440p, 60 frames. That's really what I'm looking for, right? I'll start out with AMD. I'm gonna get a Ryzen, and I'm gonna start out with like a Vega GPU, something like that, right? Just start something simple. Some people say, oh, AMD sucks. Go Nvidia. I might go Nvidia. Maybe like a 1070 or something like that. Nothing too big, right? Get the kinks out the webs. Get the right power supply, test it out, stuff like that. Improvements, learn about overclocking, just get the good experience to learn about PC gaming, building, and all that stuff, right? And then from there, the games that Microsoft make, I'll be able to play it. Games that are exclusive to Steam, I'll play it. Games that are exclusive to Epic, things that are only on those platforms or those clients, I'll play it, right? And the reason why I'm choosing PC over Xbox isn't power, because obviously the PC I'm telling you that I'm going to build, the Scarlet is going to be more powerful. It's going to be much more powerful, right? But the thing that PC is going to do is it's going to have access to all the games Scarlett's going to have, but it's going to have more games, more options, more choices of games that's not going to be on Xbox, right? Because of exclusives, and potentially games that's not going to be on PlayStation either. So by choosing PC as my secondary platform, I don't miss out on any of the Xbox Scarlet games. Plus, I got more options for even more games. It has nothing to do with fanboy or hate Xbox or hate Microsoft or anything like that. Hell, it's gonna have Windows in there, and any game I buy from Microsoft that I like, obviously Microsoft gets my money. So it's not has nothing to do with that. But choosing Xbox over PC for me is choosing a platform, a gaming console is a gaming console, gaming platform with less games than the other choice. You know, Hola Moco, what's up? I hope I pronounce your name correctly. Thank you for super chat. He says, Laren says that MS direction won't affect Xbox console sales because gamers who only play on consoles will still buy next gen consoles, which he is taking for granted. Scarlett will sell less than 30 mil. And that's the point I'm trying to make. There's already people changing their minds. Now, I'm not saying 100% of the Xbox gamers change their mind. Xbox consoles will still be sold, but I think it's going to be less sales because the product is not centered focused. And a lot of gamers, right? Think of all the gamers that bought an Xbox One this gen at 2013. What was their main reason for buying it? Majority is because of the exclusives. That's why they bought it. A lot of those guys are gone now. A lot of those guys, some of those guys are like, yeah, we're not staying on Xbox because the reason why we bought Xbox, they're not doing no more. And they're not even considering Scarlet. After that, whatever. What's up, Clarissa? ¿Cómo está? Todo está bien. Man, everything's chilling, girl. All right? Just coming out here as your only friend these YouTube streets doing my thing, right? So with that says, okay, with that what I was saying, all gamers has to understand this. the PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and even Nintendo versus console war, that's all it is. It's just bullshit, shit talking. You know what I'm saying? Trolling, trash talking, no different than sports, right? But at the end of the day, these games, regardless of the platform you choose, is an entertainment device. And you should always look at it as, what am I getting out of this device? You know, none of us should have any loyalties to any gaming console. Sure, you can appreciate if a console's doing what you want and is good. Yeah, talk about it, enjoy it, bring out the positivity of the stuff that you like. Me, I'm all about PlayStation. I'm all about PlayStation. You know, I used to be a Sega dude. I was a Sega dude. Sega died. Luckily, PlayStation was another platform I had, and I merged over. And every PlayStation platform has been amazing. PlayStation 3 in the beginning was right? But eventually, amazing games came out. PlayStation 4, I waited 2 years before I got it because in the beginning I was like, yeah, it doesn't have a lot of stuff I really want to play right now. But as you can see, it's an amazing console. So yeah, if it's amazing, it's amazing. But when it's not amazing, right? If you have people out there that still support the console and buy it because I'm a console only gamer. Oh, I've been Xbox all my life, or I've been PlayStation all my life. I've been Nintendo all my life, whatever. But the console's not really doing what you want it to do, what you're used to it doing. They're only screwing yourself. You understand what I'm saying? When people tell me, right, when I said that my man C Dub 357, thank you for the super chat. He says AMD just released some really good CPUs and GPUs and stuff like that. Yeah, the top of the line ones. Yeah, I'm not about that life. When I start out with PC, stuff. Like I said, it's gonna be mid-range, and then we'll talk about. I'll make videos when that time comes, but that won't happen till like next year or whatever. Next year the focus on PlayStation 5. Then I'll get into PC a little bit later on, but it's all about that PlayStation 5. Oh, and my birthday's in a couple of weeks, so I'm about that VR life. I'm getting a VR. Woo! Anyway, conversation for another time, right? Man, what was that? Okay. If you like a console, doesn't matter what platform is that, right? And you've been down with that platform from the beginning because this is what the platform does, and it's cool and it's great and blah blah blah, and it keeps doing it, right? But then all of a sudden it changes, and they take away the things that you like, right? Console war, shit talking, trash talking, yeah, trash talk, defend the product, whatever. But if you're serious about, oh, I'm never leaving the platform, I'm gonna bleed blue, I'm gonna bleed green, I'm gonna bleed red, if that's a Nintendo color, whatever. You're not hurting anybody else. You're not hurting me. You're only hurting yourself because you're paying for something. And if the console's not doing the things that you traditionally enjoy, and that's the reason why you like that product, if it's not doing it no more and you choose to still buy it simply because you're a console only gamer or whatever excuse you want to do, you're hurting yourself. You're not hurting me. You're not using my money to buy this stuff. People in the chat, everybody talking to one another, you guys are not responsible for the other chat members on what they buy. That's your choice, your money. You buy and you get whatever experience you get from that product. It is what it is. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of gamers are seeing the light, and it isn't because, oh man, you just causing drama. That's my favorite reason. Oh man, another Xbox dude saying they're giving up on Xbox and going PC. That's just drama. No, it's not drama. It's them holding their own value more important over the console. Because again, it's a consumer product. So they look at the consumer product and they're like, this consumer product is not doing what I want. So I'm going to go to another consumer product. That's all it is. And I warned and I said this a lot of times for a long time. Microsoft is not sending the right message for the console. They're not advertising the right stuff for the console. They're talking more about PC or everywhere else. They're talking about everything but the console and what makes it great or whatever makes it unique and why people should buy it. They actually even saying statements. Phil's saying statements. He's not making it up. He said console sales don't matter. He said you don't have to buy an Xbox. Buying the Xbox is not important. What's important is the place you play. These things don't give people confidence in buying a $500 Xbox Scarlet. That's not something that's like you're about to drop $500 of your money that you work for, and the person selling the console is like, well, you really don't have to buy it. Console sales don't matter. You know, it would be like me opening up Puertorock restaurant, great Puerto Rican cooking, right? And everybody's like, oh man, there's this new spot called Puertorock's Puerto Rican cooking. And I'm out there and I'm the owner. And you come up, yo, what's up, man? This restaurant's good. I'm like, yeah, you like my new restaurant? Oh, yeah, cool. Hey, yeah, you really don't need to eat here. I mean, hell, you could go down the street to a Gucci Frito and you could get the same food. Hell, the food's cheaper over there. I don't use no unique spices. I have no unique dishes. I got nothing here that you can't get anywhere else. You know? Yeah, but you look at me like, but don't you want to make money, sell food? Food sales don't matter. You could get food anywhere else. Eat where you like. Would you eat in my restaurant with me talking like that? Would you like actually come in, sit down, and order some food or take some food to go? When I'm out here telling you you can eat wherever you like, eat somewhere else, you're really not gonna get anything unique from this restaurant that you can't get anywhere else. Does that sound appetizing? Me selling food, that doesn't matter. Food sales don't matter. My sister from another mister, Ashton Luca, just dropping some support for the bro. Check out her Scumcast, the Scumcast every Saturday. The craziest podcast ever. Thank you so much for the super chat, sis. I truly appreciate it. But think about it. Like some of you are laughing, like it's funny, but think about it. Imagine if I told you that. Imagine if I told you that. I opened up a restaurant and I told you don't need to eat here. Well, guess what? You're not going to eat there. If I'm telling you don't need to eat here, you can eat elsewhere, then you're going to go elsewhere. But if I tell you, yo, Puertorock's restaurant, yo, welcome, be like, yo, that restaurant, yo, what's up? Bro, come to my restaurant, authentic Puerto Rican cooking. You're going to get my mom's cooking. You're going to get, her own creative spices. You're going to get Puerto Rican food twips upside down. It's off the hook. I got special deals, whatever. Yo, come rock out. You know what I'm saying? We do takeout. Great, assortment of dishes and stuff like that. All here. We also have a great selection of desserts and drinks. And I got alcohol. I got the Bacardi. Got the coquito. You get Puertorock's famous coquito that you see me drinking. What's up? Are y'all down? Are you going to get up in this and get some of this food? First time customers, 50% off. What's good? You're going to come to my restaurant and you're going to get this food. You're going to get this coquito. You're going to drink some Bacardi rum. You're going to get some of the best dishes my mom be making. It's going to be popping. It's going to take over the neighborhood. That's what you do. Because me having a product, I'm trying to convince you to buy it by ultimately telling you what you get out of it. This is what you get out of getting this product. The money you're going to give me to get this product, this is what you get. You get this, you get that. Oh, and by the way, this is the only place you're going to get this. So if you don't choose this, then you're not getting this. So if you invest your money in this, this is what I'm going to give you. This is what I'm going to give you. You getting this. You getting this from me if you buy this. And I don't understand how that concept is not hard, whatever. The one thing I'll say in this age of gamers, gaming has shifted. So when I first started gaming and grew up, whatever, right? Puertorock doing the dishes in that other restaurant. He says, at least it's clean though. There's gonna be some clean dishes, right? All right. Gonna have the Dawn soap. It's gonna be the cleaning dishes you see, right? I ain't gotta cook, right? So thank you for the super chat, right? I remember a time for a long time, even last gen, where especially for consoles, the decision to purchase consoles wasn't because of the spec of the console or the hardware of the console. It wasn't about the physical box. Sure, people paid attention about the power, but the power was in relation to the type of games the console was going to get. Ultimately, people chose consoles because of the games. It was the games that defined the console. You know, like no one bought the PS2 because of the emotion engine. It wasn't, oh shit, PlayStation 2 created this chip called the emotion engine. Day one, dog, buying it. Woo! Emotion engine. PlayStation 2. Fuck, it got the motion engine, dog. Who the fuck don't want the emotion engine? No one did that. That wasn't what the console was for, you know? It was the games. Grand Theft Auto 3, you know, stuff like that. Devil May Cry, MGS, Final Fantasy. Hell, those were the games, a lot of those games. PlayStation. Same thing with Super Nintendo over Genesis. A lot of people prefer Super NES over Genesis, not because Super NES had a better audio chip. That wasn't it. People didn't pick the Genesis in Europe, call it Mega Drive, because of blast processing. Hey, Genesis Mega Drive got blast processing. Blast processing. Word. Got blast processing? Well, shit. Fuck Nintendo. Screw the Super NES. Screw the Super Famicom. It don't got blast processing. I want my gaming console to have blast processing. That's what I buy. No, no one did that. It was the games. People prefer Sega Genesis games. Some people prefer Super NES games. People want to play Mario. People want to play Sonic the Hedgehog. You know, people want to play Zelda. People want to play Altered Beast. You know, that's what it was. So the decision for the platforms was the games. The games is what really was what's being sold. Oh, let me check all these games out. Damn, all these games. Damn, I want to play all these games. What system is this? Oh, Super Nintendo. Okay, let me get the Super Nintendo. And then you play the games. Oh man, Sonic, Wonder Boy, Altered Beast, Golden Axe. Oh, these are the games from the arcade. Oh, I could play this in a house. What console? Sega Genesis. Oh, I'm buying Sega Genesis. And then boom. That's it. My man Jay Breezy. Jay Bari, thank you for the super chat. Says PlayStation got me in gaming heaven. That's $1,000, G. That's $1,000, G. Yo, shout out to Jay Bari. Because I'm gonna give you props right now. He warned me, and I thought he was fanboy. I apologize. I apologize. I can't apologize 1,000 times, G. My man told me, Puertorock, don't buy an Xbox. You really don't need it. And I told him, nah, man, because I'm gonna play Rise. I'm gonna cop Rise. I'm gonna get Cuphead, Gears, Halo. I told him, no, not Forza. Yeah, okay, Forza. You know what I'm saying? And then any other future games that comes out. Now, keep in mind, this was like 2016 early, whatever. This was even before Scalebound canceled. Even though, so I saw Scalebound come in, Gears, all this stuff, right? And then I'm thinking more games will come. And Barry's like, bro, I bought like 3 of them shits, and I just can't keep them. Trust me, you're going to regret it. It's going to be the biggest regret you have. I didn't listen to him. I bought it. But to my defense, I only paid $60 for the console. I'll tell you what, if I would have bought the Xbox One S, I would have flipped the hell out and paid $300 or whatever. I would have flipped the hell out because this shit ain't got no games. But anyway, so I will say that. Shout out to Jay Bari. He warned me, and he was right. The man was spot on. Biggest regret I ever had. Biggest regret. If I would have known better, I would have just went and got this. Well, it's 2016 when I got this, but I would have I would just went to PC. To be honest, if I would have known, it is what it is, right? I say all this to say this to the gamers. We're gonna continue console war. We're gonna continue to talk shit, all that stuff. It is what it is. But there's a come to time where you have to step out of character, and you have to look at the information for what it is, factual information. And ultimately, as a consumer, you have to look at it, what's the best thing for you. Okay? There are some guys who still will rock with Xbox, right? But some of those guys, some of them don't even do the console war thing. They don't really care about exclusives or multiplats. They just care with what's easy and comfortable and familiarity. And there's nothing wrong with that. If that's what you buy, let's say you've been playing Xbox since day one, you never really owned the PlayStation, you really know Nintendo, you like the ecosystem, you like the controllers, you want everything to go from one thing to another, you just want the familiarity, you don't really care about all the other nonsense and stuff like that. And okay, that's just is as long as you can reasonably say what you say, but some people, they're not stepping out of character. They are in character 24/7, 7 days a week, and they're going to live and die by their character, right? And they actually do game purchases based on this character. Now, the reason why I say character, because I would hate to believe that's who they truly are. This fanboy character, I would hate to truly believe that's who they actually are in real life. If that's who they are in real life, like it's not a character, it's really them. My God, my God, my God, my God. I'll just leave it at there. My God, At the end of the day, it's your choice, your money, but step out of character and see the reality for what it is and makes the best choice for you. Make the best choice for you. Period. All right? That's how it is. So with that, I'm going to cut the podcast. I'm going to end it off. Well, you know what? Before that, since somebody mentioned it already, no, I think we've been, what, an hour and 20 minutes? I think we did it off, right? Should I keep going? Let me ask you something. So type one if you want me to stick around for maybe 10 more minutes, 15 more minutes to do a Q&A, or two. Now we good, Puertorock. Thank you so much. Let me know. Let me get a one for stick around, Q&A. Two for now we good. Let's get some gaming on. And here we go. Got a one. Got a one. Got a one. This is all about you guys. The one. Okay. We'll stick around for another 10, 15 minutes. So Q&A. Kick it off. Pop them questions. Pop it up. Pop it up. Pop it up. A dog can be loyal. All right. So what's the first question? Who's going to type the first question? Everybody's like, all right. Yeah, I really want this. Do I play Warframe? No, I do not play Warframe. I heard it's an amazing game. That game grew bigger than life right now, but I'm on my single player. I'm on my single player grind, and I'm playing it. If many of you haven't noticed, if you log on to PlayStation, you look at my name, it says I haven't logged on like in 2 weeks. That's not true. Right now, I have hidden. I've been hiding it because every time I put online and people see it, I get so many invites. I get invites to Fortnite. I don't even have that game installed. I get invites to Grand Theft Auto. I get invites to Call of Duty, Madden, um, Destiny, all the multiplayer games. There's a lot of PlayStation. When people say, "Oh man, nobody plays multiplayer on PlayStation," bull fucking shit. Soon as I put online and people see my name, I get so many invites to online games. Even games I don't own, I get invites to Ghost Recon Wildlands. I don't even have the game. It's crazy. But I heard Warframe is amazing. Lots of content. I heard that game just blew the hell up. I just don't have it. And I don't know if I'll be able to put in the time to do it because I heard it's a lot of content. So I'm trying to get into these single player games. Thoughts on Judgment? I haven't played Judgment yet. I beat Yakuza Kiwami the other day. The next thing I want to play is Yakuza 0 and then Yakuza 2. I'll probably go through all the Yakuzas because I really love Kiwami. It was amazing. I'll be honest, I regret never playing Yakuza on the PlayStation 2 and stuff. I'm late to the game, but my God, I had so much fun. So I got to play all this stuff. There's just a lot of content, but I'm going to try to go through all the Yakuzas. I don't know if they did 3, 4, and 5. Can somebody verify that? Because I know they did. Obviously, I beat the first one. I know they did 0, and I know they did Yakuza 2. Did they do 3, 4, and 5? I know they have 6 called The Song of Life. I don't know if they did 3, 4, and 5. I think they did, right? But that's what I'm trying to do, right? Okay, let's see. When do you think is the next state of play? From what I think, is it bi-monthly? Did they ever say a consistent schedule? It's like every 2 months they do a state of play? Good question. I don't know if Sony ever did a consistent state of play. I think it's every 2 months or whenever they feel like it. I don't know. But most of the time they've been pushing indies and VR game. I hope now I want to see more VR games. I bought a whole bunch of VR games. My VR comes in the 17th, but I can't open it until my birthday. Whatever. My wife rules. So, but anyway, can't wait to get on it. But I'm looking forward to the next state of play, especially if they show a lot of VR. Do you think Sony will bring back Resistance? Woo! Hard question because that's an Insomniac game, even though it's owned by Sony IP. So the question is, What does Insomniac have in their schedule? That's number one. Number two, part three did really bad, right? Like terrible. I think only sold, I think it flopped like miserably. So I don't know if Sony is interested in seeing that franchise back unless Insomniac wants to give it like the God of War treatment or complete reboot. I like the first two. I like two more than anything else. I like Resistor 2 out of all of them because of the co-op it had, which is funny because they took it away in part three, which made no sense. I spent hours on that co-op. It was the co-op missions were great. I don't know why they took it away. I don't know. It depends. That's a hard one, you know. Next question. What do you estimate how much Scarlet will sell after 6 years? Oh my god. I was saying around 25 million. I think it's gonna go back to like 25 million. You know, especially he's gonna most likely launch a 500, just like PlayStation 4, 5. I think PlayStation 5 is gonna launch a 500. But I think at this point, it's gonna be like 25, 30 million. I think there's gonna be a lot of gamers that's gonna go for the PlayStation 5 and PC combo. I think a lot of gamers are gonna move out of the Xbox environment, you know. Okay, will you sell Dominican food at your restaurant? Well, my wife's half Dominican, so yeah, why not? You know what I'm saying? Just to be clear, you said in the future you will have W. So, Sleek, can you rephrase that question? Because just to be clear, you said in the future you will have W. You said W. In the future, I will have win, bro. I'm already winning. I've been had the wins. So if you could just rephrase that question, I don't know, maybe you meant something else. PR7 said you need to play Hollow Knights. It's awesome. You know, I have that game. Um, where did I read? Was it no, it wasn't Hollow Knights. Maybe I read something else. But I got that game. I just never played it. But I'll try it out. You know, maybe like within the law and stuff like that. What's good, Pre-Rock? What's good, J Love? Uh, Puerto Rico and I. All right, 3 is only on PS3. Or that's probably within conversations. Let's see what else. Just somebody to leave a like. I will listen later. No doubt, Jonix. Hope you enjoy it. Let's see. Ooh, let's go. Let's see. Uh, um, um, let's see. Have you been to Finland yet? No, I've been to Norway. I haven't been to Finland yet. If I did though, make some recommendations. Hit me up in a DM on Twitter, Puertorock77 with an underscore, because there's another Puertorock77 out there. It's funny because I seen the stuff. He DM'd me one time. He's like, "Who the fuck are these people?" Because when they put a Rock 77, so they tag him, and he has nothing to do with gaming. Shit is hilarious. So mine is Porter Rock 77 underscore right after. Give me some suggestions on what to do in Finland. But I've been to Norway. Um, Warframe is the best free to play. They do it right. I heard that. They did 345 in Japan. It's not out in the States West yet. Okay. So what I'll do is this is okay. Thanks for letting me know. I'm gonna play. I heard Yakuza 2 is better than 0, so I'm gonna play 0, and then I'll finish off with 2, and then Yakuza's 3, 4, 5 will be remastered. So I won't play 6 because I know 6 is out. So then I won't play 6. I'll wait till 3, 4, and 5 gets remastered. I'll play Judgment. So I'll do Yakuza 0, Yakuza 2, and then Judgment because I know Judgment's within that world, right? Do you enjoy Quantum Dream type games? Did you play Detroit Become Human? Would you play a sequel for PlayStation 5? They made one. Yes, 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 yes. Clarissa, I fell in love with Quantum Dream when I played the game Indigo Prophecy on the PlayStation 2. That, you know, that type of game, I was like, I never experienced a game like that. I thought it was amazing. Yeah, I got a little weird in the end, but overall, anytime a Quantum Dream made a game, I supported it. I bought it. God damn it. Got him. People be like, got him. I bought it day one. I love the developer. I so far, I think the worst game they made was Beyond Two Souls. It was average, it was all right, but I still played it because I thought it was gonna be better than what it was. But I still love the games. And because of them, anybody else who makes games like that, I look into it. Like Supermissive, Until Dawn, similar style, love it. I just love that genre. I personally love that genre. I love the storytelling genre. I love the multiple choice. branching, things going left and right. I beat Detroit Become Human. I'll probably do a playthrough when I have a good lull to branch out to different stories because I want to see all the different possibilities. I love that. And yes, I will play a sequel. I will play a new IP, multiplat, PC exclusives. I don't care where it is. I'm doing it. Puertorock, when are you coming out of retirement? Coming out of retirement? Are you talking about like, oh, no, I'm still doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm still right there. I'm always gonna preach the truth, Lionel. You best believe. As far as my podcast, the hardest part of my podcast is the time difference. It's the only time I can really do a podcast and be able to get J Dub all day, J Fonz. It's like when I'm up at 2:30 in the morning on a Friday. And most of the time, Fridays and Saturdays is my time to hang out with my wife, enjoy Europe, because in Europe is such a beautiful continent. We're in Germany, beautiful country. Last week, we came back from Italy. We're planning more trips. We're just enjoying it, and it's just hard. Remember I used to do the podcast on Wednesdays, but that was fine because I was in North Carolina and I did it at 7 or 8. We were all on the same similar schedule, right? I'm getting parched. I need a little drink, and it was fine. But now it's killing me. And trust me, I would love to do the podcast consistently because there's a lot of stuff from podcasts. I be listening to it, and most of the time it's good, but there's some things I'd be like, man, what the hell are they talking about? This needs to be addressed. So believe me, I wish I could do. We need SOCOM. Yep. What Sony IP would you like to see again? It's funny, SOCOM. SOCOM will be one. All Digital 84. SOCOM will be one with a competent developer. I would love to see that game come back. And then number two, and I know this is a very niche game, but I would love to see, and I know some said it, I would love to see Legend of Dragoon make a comeback. I would love to see that RPG come back. Do a remaster, at least a remaster. Do a remaster. Have Blue Point do a complete remaster, and then we'll take it from there. Let's see. Let's see. Uh, Do you think Sony will bring back? Shout out Oki Ock. He says, "Do you think Sony will bring back old franchises from PS1 era like Siphon Filter, Twisted Metal, Jet Motor?" I think every game is on the table for Sony, but I would imagine one who's going to make the game and what vision they have. Like for example, Siphon Filter, right? Sony Bend, I think they own that. That was part of their universe, right? There was a rumor, and I remember I didn't really dig into it, but supposedly there was some type of Easter egg or something that talked about, and I don't know if this is true or not, and maybe you guys looked into it more, that Days Gone is in the Siphon Filter universe, and that ultimately the disease is what caused Days Gone, the afterworld, right? Which would be pretty interesting if that was the case, because now you could be talking about a Siphon Filter set in the world of Days Gone type world, right? Where the infected are out, and it would be a pretty cool concept, right? And I think that's what it takes for any of those PlayStation 1 classic IPs to make a comeback. What is the pitch, right? And here's the key. You can't use the same thing as before because it's not going to be successful. Sony's going to want to see, like God of War, right? God of War Ascension bombed. God of War 1 did great. God of War 2 did great. God of War 3 did great on consoles, right? The handhelds did okay, did good job, whatever. But primarily on consoles, 1, 2, and 3 did phenomenal. Then they made Ascension, bombed. At that point, Sony saw as the formula is done. We're not making another one. The formula is done. It's over. It ran its course, right? Corey Bala came back, reimagined the game, still continue with it. Didn't do a full-on reboot. It's still part of the legacy of God of War. It's still continuing that story, but he did a fresh reboot in terms of the gameplay and the design and all that stuff. Sony bought it, loved it, and you saw the rest is history. The other developers of these games need to do that. How can you convince Sony? How is it different? How is it bigger? How's it better? And then we could see maybe some PS1 IPs come back, right? Let's see what's up. Man, let's see. Give me a second. Next question. Puertorock, you Jay, put your boys on blast on the live podcast, Next Gen and Crab Gamer. Jay, put your boys on blast on the live podcast, Next Gen and Crab Gamer. Jay, put your boy on blast on the. So what? You talking about the stream that Next Gen and Crab Gamer did? I'm gonna check it out to see what you're talking about. Do you think the message has gotten out to the average consumer that Xbox may not be worth buying next gen because the MS publishing games also has cloud? So right now, the average consumer, they're usually not the big adopters of console at the start of the gen. It's usually the hardcore or the techies, people who are interested in technology, right? They're the ones that make up the first year buyers, right? And they're the ones that create the narrative and the message. And depending how loud that message is, how wound up that message is, ultimately get to consumer. Like for example, when Microsoft did the always online thing, right? The console's always online, 24-hour check-in. You can't do nothing if your console don't check in. It was the hardcore that heard that message. And the hardcore did not like that message at all. So they just kept complaining and complaining and telling people, oh my God, Xbox, you can't play if you have your own internet. If it doesn't check in 24 hours, none of your games work. DRM, it's just terrible, terrible, terrible. And that message was just kept saying for so long, right? Obviously, Microsoft heard the hardcore. So after a week of the announcement, Microsoft shut it off. They updated the software. The console was not going to launch with that always online. They cut it off, right? But even like a year to 2 years after, keep in mind the Xbox One never had it. They never officially launched it with that always online thing, right? But the casuals still thought it had it. There was casuals a year later, 2 years later. Well, I'm not buying Xbox One. It has always online. You can't play your games unless you connect to the internet. I'm not doing that. And like, whoa, it doesn't have it. But that's because the hardcore had that message so much. And that's what's going to happen again next gen. The hardcore is just going to come out and be like, man, Xbox got no exclusives. It's got no games. Everything's on this, and this. And after a while, it's going to take a life of its own and it's going to resonate to the casuals. And then the casuals is just going to exaggerate and be like, oh, shit, Xbox got no games. You could get games on PlayStation, you know? And I don't think Microsoft realizes that. Are you getting control? 80% no, 20% I'm gonna check it out. I'll say 60% no, 40% I'm gonna check it out. And that 40% has to be big. But right now, like I said, I'm not really into Remedy. You know, I've been have mad skills. What's up, brother? What's good? Let's see what else we got. Fahrenheit. Yep. Well, Fahrenheit is in Europe. That's what they called it in Europe. In America, it was called Indigo Prophecy. So it's the same game though, different titles. All right, let's go. What else? Heavy Rain was first, right? No, the first game I played from them was Indigo Prophecy. Then I played Heavy Rain. Loved Heavy Rain too. Press X for Jason. Some funny shit. Are you looking forward to expected convoluted story? Oh, of course. Classic Kojima. I'm a Kojima fanboy. I'm playing Death Stranding day one. Let it begin. Let's go. Throat Baby Mafia. Hashtag. I'm down for it. I'm down for Death Stranding. Let's go. Everyone was great, and Detroit was next level in terms. Yeah, Detroit, that set the bar. And if you guys are into that game too, Supermassive or Missive, the creators of Until Dawn, they have a Dark Anthology series with the first game, Man of Medan, should be coming out in August or July. I'm a cop that game. You know, so look after that. Let's see what we got. I know some people like Twisted Metal, but like car combat games, is that still really a thing? Are you like you guys still enjoy that? Like just driving around cars and shooting missiles and blowing all the cars up? Um, you know, what if it had cloud destruction? I know it would have to be a huge reboot. I think I don't think Twisted Metal will be successful unless they can not reimagine it and take it to the next level. It has to come out to the next level. If you love Kiwami, you're gonna love Yakuza Zero Judgment. I heard is lit. So also Fist of North Star is lit too. Beat Fist of North Star. So I'm there with you. Fist of North Star is fire. It's fire. Soul Reaver reboot. That's who Soul Reaver reboot. But who made that? Idols. I made that game, right? Because it was part of the Legacy of Kain franchise, and Idols owned that, and Idols falls under Square Enix. So technically, Square Enix owns that, right? That would be a great reboot, or I think people would like Soul Reaver. That's a good one. Does Sony own Legend of Dragoon though? I think so. I think it was owned by their studios. Let's look at that. Good question. Good question for the day. I thought the Japan studios. I could be wrong. Let me see. Dame un momentito. Legend of Korra. No. Why would that even be on my search thing? Legend of Dragoon. So, Legend of Dragoon. Yep, it is. So, Legend Dragoon is a role playing video game developed by SE Japan Studios and published by Sony Computer Entertainment. So, yes, it is their game. SEE Japan Studios actually developed it and published by Sony. Now, I remember reading into this. Actually, look what it says. The producer, Shuhei Yoshida. Yoshida actually produced the game. Ain't that something? Wow. Game came out. Holy shit. I didn't realize it came out that late. The game, according to Wikipedia, the game launched in 2000. PlayStation 2 launched like 3 months later and stuff like that. Wow. I was in California then when I played that game. In June 2000, I was stationed in California. Wow. I didn't realize it came out that late in the gen. Man, I really hope didn't have that. Yeah, for Mitchell game, I guess scores are average. I hope they really try something. It says by 2007, the game sold 280,000 copies in Japan. Ouch. It says sales in the United States were stronger than those in Japan. By 2007, Legendary has sold over 823,000 copies in North America. So 823,000 copies in North America, 200,000 in Japan. So it sold over a million. It says the game's PSN released top the PlayStation Classic charts and remained in the top 5 for the next 3 months. Man, I really hope they do something. I hope they really bring it. So it's interesting. Well, yeah, so it is a Sony thing. Pretty interesting. Let's see what we got here. They do, and Days Gone has tied to it. So somebody saying that yes, Days Gone and Cypher Filter have some ties. Yes, Sony Ben said that. Interesting. So if Sony Ben, I will. Sony Ben said, interesting. Video game lover, hey Puertorock, what's good? Yeah, Days Gone is a sequel, or part. I want to say sequel will be part of it, right? Days Gone is tied to it. So also the outbreak happened. Yeah, it sounds like the outbreak happened. But you know what? That would be cool if let's say if it is true, right? And let's say it's only been confirmed. No, Days Gone is in the Sci-Fi filter and it failed, right? They could do one or two things. They could do a prequel to Days Gone, right? Which ultimately we all know the mission fails, and then you see the ending of what happens in the world. And then let's say like you can play a half hour, an hour. There's like a chapter where you play a pre Days Gone. Before Days Gone, you play 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever time, the actual beginning of Deacon, and you guys are leaving the city, running the city, and then the game finishes where the game begins of the actual Days Gone. Am I explaining it right? So like you're playing Sci-Fi Filter, you do all this stuff. Ultimately, the fate of the world fails. You screwed up. Gabe Logan failed. You see the outbreak, end credits, right? And then boom, the game starts at the beginning of Days Gone, but not, or the beginning, like the prequel to Days Gone, right? Like you see Deacon, whatever, but not the start of Days Gone, like before that, where you're escaping the city and you actually go through all the drama. And then the game finishes where the game of Days Gone begins, and then it ties everything. That's one thing you could do. I think that would be pretty cool. Or the Siphon filter is in pretty much the post universe of Days Gone. You know what I'm saying? And maybe within the game of Siphon Filter, you hear stories of some type of settlement camp in Oregon where people united or there's drama going, and you just get those intels or whatever. But you're really doing something else somewhere else, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That would be interesting if they could do that. If they could actually make a cinematic Days Gone universe, Siphon Filter Days Gone universe, that would be pretty cool. Blood Omen reboot would be dope. Like the actual or a full remake of Legacy of Kain. I could dig it. What else we got? Twisted Metal. Maybe if it was Twisted Metal, today's multiplayer would be decent with freedom to exit vehicles and shoot fight. Maybe a free to play. You think that would be popular if Sony made Twisted Metal free to play? You think it would be big? Let's see. What else we got? Uh, I'm finished playing the game and there is a secret ending. So now I gotta look up secret ending for Days Gone. Ain't that something? Let's see what we got. Exclusives are anti-consumer. That's pretty funny. We need Until Dawn 2. Facts. Big Cloud Gaming. Facts. But again, the people who made Until Dawn, they're making a game called The Man of Medan. So check that out. There's also trailers of it. It looks fantastic. And it's part of the Dark Anthology, something like that. So I think it's gonna be a slew of horror games and stuff like that. Check it out. The Man of Medan. I think you'll like it. Do you think a new VR will be released together with PS5? They actually said no. There was they actually talk. I forgot where I read it. I don't know if it was on their Sony's presentation slide or an article, but they said no because the PlayStation 5 that we had, the VR that you have now, fully compatible with the PlayStation 5, And I'm assuming because if you notice the VR, if you get the Pro, you get better performance, you get, it's just better, right? So chances are, hopefully, they may have planned it to where the PlayStation 5 will also improve the performance of the PSVR. So you'll just get even better visual fidelities. So let's hope for hopefully, and it would make sense when you think about it, that they made the head unit adaptable to the strength of the console. That way they don't have to keep making new head units. They could just sell this head unit, right? Because I think the most important aspect of the heads unit, if it's fully adaptable with every powerful console release, is the price. And even right now at 350 with two games, it's still pretty expensive, you know. But as the head unit, time goes on, they'll drop it down to 300, 250, 200. I think PSVR will really be breaking out once it reaches like the 150. I think when it gets down to 150, I think that's when it's really going to take off. Because then I think a lot more people will be open to the idea of VR gaming. And it's been on the market for a little while. There'll be a whole lot of games, and it's $150. But the key to that is, did Sony make it to where it's adaptable to the PlayStation 5 and take advantage? Even if it's like, hey, you got the VR, it's locked 1080p, 60 frames, ultra graphics, whatever, looks great. I think that would be a huge plus for that. Uh, let's see what else. I wouldn't mind an actual Warhawk too. You're right. Starhawk was a absolute mess. They should have just made Starhawk, Warhawk. I think Warhawk, because Warhawk, the first one, and I think Starhawk, but Warhawk, that was actually an online only game, if you remember, right? There was no single player. So I think Warhawk, improved version and stuff like that, I think it would be very popular in this today's multiplayer environment. Do you think Final Fantasy remake enough to hype? I think so. I hope so. I'm excited. I mean, it's like a dream come true. I've been, ever since I saw the PlayStation 3, if you remember, go back to 2005. If you look up on YouTube, if you've never seen it, E3 2005, and look for, it's called Final Fantasy PS3 Tech Demo. When that was first released, as a tech demo to show the power of the PlayStation 3. It was either E3 2005 or E3 2006. But type in, Final Fantasy PS3 tech demo. When I saw that, I honestly thought, oh my God, this is the remake. They're bringing on PlayStation 3. It's happening. Well, obviously, it didn't happen. We're getting it now on PlayStation 4. After literally, let's say if the demo was showed on 2006, let's say after 13 years ago, minimum. Bruh. Anyway, but I hope it is. I think so. I think it's going to be phenomenal. I love what I'm saying. FSN will be fire. The secret game Blueprint Games is working on is Legend Ragu. Nick Taylor, 4K Ultra. Stop. Don't do this to me. Don't do me like this. Don't get my hopes up. Like, just stop. Don't do this to me. Why would you do this to me? Why would you say that? Don't say that. You know it ain't true. I hope it's true, but we both know it ain't true. Let's see. What do you believe about Death Stranding being a war game against AI-driven nanotech, which is partly an online MMO game to people team up to fight back the nanotech overuse? What do you believe about Death Stranding being a war game? Well, from what I read, he's talking about these characters are supposed to build connections with other camps and people, which includes a various online interaction. So we all online have to some way connect. And he called it strands. It's like we link in strands to rebuild everything. And I'll be honest, I'm still confused. I'm so confused. And I'm loving the fact that I'm confused about this game. Because how often do we most games, we kind of know what the game is already. When we see a game, we be like, okay, got it. It's pretty much like this. And we still love it. We still hype it. It looks great, and we'll play it. But I haven't had a shocking surprise to where it'd be like, man, this is some new stuff. I can't wait to play it to see what it actually really is, what the gameplay really is. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm glad we have that. And I'm glad Kojima is one of the few people that can do that. In a world where people pretty much know game types, game plays, they pretty much, sum it up like, it's pretty much, this type of game. Or it's pretty much a Destiny clone. Or it's pretty much, this clone. It's pretty much a Halo clone. It's pretty much a COD clone. We got it. Pretty much a Devil May Cry clone. We got that. We're looking at Death Stranding and people are like, the fuck? And I think that's a great thing. And I'm looking forward to that. Uh, let's see. Everybody saying they confirm it's connected. I think that's pretty awesome. Uh, let's see. Any questions? We're going on Puertorock. Don't Rockstar still owe Sony a game? All right, that's a great question. Beats Games Life, Zim, 804. To give everybody context on that, and I remember because I had this conversation and I brought this up a long time ago in the PS3 era. Sony had a contract for 4 games, time exclusive games. Grand Theft Auto 3, or more than that. Grand Theft Auto 3, no, Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and Grand Theft Auto 4. All 4 games were supposed to be timed exclusives, right? Because of the huge low sales, huge low, doesn't make sense, right? Because of the low sales of the PlayStation 3, it was flopping in terms of sales, $600. It was not selling at the expected rate people thought, because coming off the PlayStation 2, a lot of people have high expectations of PlayStation 3. PlayStation 3 did not deliver that at the start of the gen and for 3 years, really, right? Rockstar approach, and this was what's his name? Jack Trenton, right? That's his name, Jack Trenton. He was the one that had an interview and he explained it. That Rockstar, the staff at Rockstar approached Sony and be like, hey, they showed them the metrics, they showed them how much money they spent on the game, and they showed them the projections of how much the game needs to sell just to cut break even. They were like, they need the game to sell like 8 million within the first couple of months just to break even or something like that. Like 8 million is just breaking even or some shit. Like we're 10 million, Like if the game don't, if they would be in a bad position. and they show metrics to Sony, be like, hey, your console cannot support the success we need for Grand Theft Auto 4. So they renegotiated the final deal, and the negotiation was fine. You can make Grand Theft Auto 4 day one multiplats on any platform Rockstar chooses, but they owe Sony first dibs at a new IP to be timed exclusive. First dibs, right? So they get first dibs. They want to see whenever they make a new IP, they want first dibs. So, as you can see, Rockstar was able to publish games they want on 360. They published on PC. Even got to the point where Peter Moore, not only he wasn't just content with Grand Theft Auto 4 being on Xbox 360, he went at Rockstar and be like, hey, since you're making a multiplat, are you guys thinking about DLC, digital content? Have you ever thought about that? We have hard drives. You can sell post content. In fact, we'll pay for it. We'll give you $50 million as long as you make it. At the time, it seemed like an exclusive, but in reality, he paid for time exclusive. But it worked on his thing anyway, right? So that's where you had the Balagay Tony and the Lost and something. You know, the biker gang and the Balagay Tony. But because of that deal, ultimately, Sony had first dibs, and that IP was supposed to be the agent to which Jack Tretton announced it at one of the E3s. And they showed the gun and said the agent. So the agent was supposed to be a PlayStation game, timed exclusive, and then eventually comes to other platform. That was supposed to be their next big game. That was the first and last time we heard of that game. We haven't heard of the agent ever since. And that's it. So I don't know if Sony renegotiated a contract, which they could have. Rockstar could have went back and be like, hey, we showed you the agent. We're not making that game. This is our plan for here on out. We're going to do Grand Theft Auto online, Red Dead Redemption online, and we're going to more focus on services, games as a service for online. Sony could have been like, all right, fine. So this is what you're doing. That means we want all marketing rights for the next couple of or whatever. Maybe it's just Grand Theft Auto 5 and Red Dead. Maybe that's why Sony has the marketing rights, because maybe they renegotiate for that. So, it is what it is. That's pretty interesting. But that's the story behind Grand Theft Auto 4 and how supposedly Rockstar owes Sony a game. Bloodborne 2 day one PS5 launch game. Doubt that, but it would be amazing. Let's see. Mortal Storm. I'm not into racing games. That's just not me. PSVR needs a better screen. I think that's going to be the next big jump for PSVR is 4K screens. But you won't see that for a while. I think they're still going to rock this one. You still get better visuals. It's still going to be stuck at 1080p. Okay. Let's see what else we got. And Puertorock, how do you talk to Xbox cult members? Not all Xbox gamers are cultists that insist exclusives do not matter. So the Xbox cultists, there's really nothing you can do. All you can do is just have fun, and they get antagonized very quickly. And that's really all you can do, antagonize them. Just talk about the facts, and you'll see. So with the Xbox cultists, because I know there's no way to change their mind. You're not, make this a mistake. Let me tell you something. And this is really across for any fanboy. The cult guys, the corporate slaves, you will never change their mind because they're slaves. They are willingly slaves. They're not slaves by force, they're slaves by choice. And because they're slaves by choice, you're not going to change their minds, okay? You're not. All you can do is speak facts and make them keep talking. Because that's really, I'm going to tell you my little secret on Twitter. When I got these fanboys, corporate slaves, these cultists, these dudes are out of their minds. I present facts so they can keep talking. All right. Over time, tweet after tweet, more people start seeing this particular person's tweet. And through the conversation, more and more people realize, holy shit, this dude is a dumbass. And then that's all I need to do. I just need to show the world that this dude's a dumbass. That's all you can really do, Clarissa. Let them talk. Break out facts. Let them reply. They're not smart enough to be like, oh, shit, you presented some facts. My bad. I'm wrong. Have a nice day. End the conversation. No. They're gonna double down. They're gonna make up lies. They're gonna pretend they know insiders. They're gonna go deep in this hole. They're sinking. They're just give them a little rope, let them hang themselves. That's all they're doing. And after a while, you see a stream of just stupid remarks, and then people, after a while, people catch on. They jump in, they read, and they be like, "Man, this guy's dumb as hell." My job is done. I did what I needed to do. You know, Wounded Penguin. A certain YouTuber made a video in which he equated that withholding a Gears 5 campaign gameplay with the Stranding showing little gameplay, even though G5 released in 2 months. Pretty interesting because didn't they show actual Death Stranding gameplay? And then number two, Kojima, Gears 5, there's no secret to Gears 5. We all know what Gears is. So it's not like it's a new IP doing a new idea. We know what it is. I know a lot of people are upset at the fact that they still haven't seen campaign, and I think the campaign is going to be revealed September 3rd, and the game comes out September 19th. It doesn't make sense. Terrible, terrible marketing. Gears of War 5 got terrible marketing. But I will say this. My man J Dub, shout out to J Dub City. He put on Twitter, he cannot believe Microsoft's marketing behind Gears 5 is terrible. My reply to that, and to everybody in the chat, a lot of people are going to play this game for only $1 because they have $1 access to whatever. Or let's say people did pay full price for Game Pass, $10. So literally, Gears 5 comes out, people will sign up for Game Pass for $10. They'll play and beat the game, right? They got Game Pass for 30 days for $10, right? But I think if you're a new joiner, let's say $10. We'll just stick with $10. So $10, play Gears. You got 30 days access to play Gears. They'll play Gears, beat the single player, and then they'll spend 2 weeks to 3 weeks playing the multiplayer. If they like it and they want to play a little bit longer, then they'll play another $10. So now they got 30 more days of playing Gears. And then they'll be like, all right, I got what I wanted. I'm done. So ultimately, they'll play a brand new big blockbuster AAA game for at most $20 if they want to play 60 days worth. If they only want to play 30 days worth of the game and cut it out, $10. $10 for a big AAA game. Microsoft's not going to put in the big budget of advertising this game. They're not, because that just adds to what they need to recoup. So they're going to do minimal advertising because it's less they need to recoup, because they know there's going to be gamers that play this game for only $10. So it is what it is. What studio like to see all Sony buys? I mentioned this before early in the podcast, but if you just came back, number 1, Insomniac. Number 2, Kojima Studios. Number 3, Bluepoint. I would love to see them. I would also love to see them buy From Software. I would love From Software to be Sony staff, because now Sony has a dedicated RPG, action type studio that's like that. I think it would be amazing if they did that. But that would be me. That would be my choice. But number 1, Insomniac out of all. Sony doesn't need to buy studios. You are correct. I think the one studio they do need to buy, not particular a studio, but I think the one thing they really need in their portfolio is another RPG heavy studio. Because you don't see a lot of RPGs from Sony. And I think RPGs are great. I think they could use an RPG heavy studio to flesh it out. I think they could use that to add that to the portfolio, that where we have a dedicated RPG studio, Max Payne is actually Take-Two. Take-Two owns Max Payne. So Sony, did I ever play Max Payne 3? Take-Two owns that franchise. Sony owns a Getaway. Potentially, that probably could be a good comeback. Let's see what else. Puertorock, shout out to Clarissa. She called out Death Stranding nanotech scenario. What it really is called Grey Goog Apocalypse. Nanotech, yeah. Shout out to her. Good call. Let's see what else. And I think that's it. All right. I think we had a good little Q&A. I don't want to take up too much of your time. It's already, what time is it? It's already 10:34. So we were here for like 2 hours on the live stream. I hope you rocked out. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new to the podcast or you're new to the live stream, you're new to my channel, subscribe to your boy. Listen, subscribe to me. I'm your only friend in these YouTube streets. I'm your only friend. All right. I'm telling you that right now. All the other dudes, I'm your only friend. All right. So rock out with me. subscribe, hit the like button. Hope you enjoyed the live stream, and I'll check you out. Next thing I'll probably knock out is another video, another 10-minute, 5-minute, 5 to 10 minute video. Puertorock, what's your definition or example of humiliation? Definition of example humiliation: buying an Xbox One day one and thinking it would be the best console. Oh, and I'm out. Peace.